Good day to you all, it's Mike here on My 1064, and for this video we are doing a product review for the Alxum Switch Dock and Game Card Reader. Now we recently did a product review, a written product review for our website my1064.com for the Alxum Game Card Reader for the Nintendo Switch, which is a very handy device. It plugs onto the top of your Switch Dock, or just clips on rather. You can then connect the USB into the side of the device, your dock, and then or inside, however you prefer. And then this little baby here actually goes into the top of your Switch. So if I just take my Switch here, put that in there. So, you know, you can't actually, you can't actually see that from the top there. But the only thing that you will see is obviously where this comes round, but that will just clip into the top of your Switch, and hey presto. And there you can play up to 4 games at the same time. Well, 4 games. You can have 4 games inserted at the same time, and then by pressing a button, you can switch between the games that you'd like to play. So if you're like me, you have a lot of physical games, you're not too much about digital, you prefer to have games physically, and I have like over 200 in physical. But if you've got friends round or family and you normally seem to play, you know, the same games over and over, so you probably can be a lot of, you know, like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, it could be Super Mario Party, Moving Out, all kinds of party games. Well, you can put in 4 games that you want to play at the same time, and then by pressing the button at the top here, it can switch between the cards that you'd like to read. But we're not here to talk about this device. We're here to talk about the new and improved version, which, if I just disconnect that there as well, thank you, which actually includes a place to actually dock your Switch as well. So this is an all-in-one. Okay, this works and serves as a Nintendo Switch dock. You can also read games from it as well. It has the space for 4 carts and extra one for storage there. We have a USB-C in there. That is so that you can connect it up to your mains. And then you have your HDMI outlet. You have a connector for the Ethernet or LAN. And then you've got 3 USBs. Now, granted, one of the USBs is committed to being used to actually, power the game card reader. Why is that? Well, because the game card reader, like I said, it's a bit of an all-in-one. This part actually slides out as well, and you can connect that to the top of your other dock. Maybe, for example, you have the Nintendo Switch OLED dock for, the Legend of Zelda edition. Maybe you want to show that off. Maybe it's for the Splatoon. Maybe you just got a cool dock that you'd like to show off and you just want to use this piece. Well, you can. That's not a problem. It just clips onto the top. You can then plug in the USB as well. And then you can plug it into the side here. Get that the right way round. And then there you go. Once you put your device in, your Switch, you're not going to be able to see the actual device behind there, so it hides nice and snug behind. The only thing that you'll see is obviously this cable going along the top and then that cable on the outside. You can get another cable, but this comes with a cable, so unless you've got another smaller one or you've got a sleeker design that will just go around corners and look a bit neater, well then it's not a problem. All USB cables seem to work with this, and that's very handy, and I'll tell you why. Because it does not come with an AC adapter, so you can't connect it up to the mains without having an extra AC adapter. However, it works perfectly fine with the one that's provided with the Nintendo Switch. So if you want to swap out your dock that you have for it and then you want to use this dock, not a problem, you can. Also, it works with the USB lead, so you can connect it up to the USB-C with a USB-A connector on the end, like this one for example, and that will go into your TV, or if you have a USB outlet, anything that has a USB connector, you can plug it in and it will work fine. So you don't even need to take an AC cable with you. If you've got a TV that has a USB port, you can plug it straight in. And because of its sleek design, you take that with you on holiday. You haven't got a big bulky you haven't got a big bulky dock to take with you, you can just take this and, you know, a couple of leads and away you go. That's all you need. Now, to show you how it actually sits on the dock, how the switch actually sits on it. So if we just plug that in there, just be very, very careful. There we are. It's connected in. And then this will go in over the top. And it'll clip straight in. And then here we have the 4 card slots. And like with the actual switch itself, you know, they just connect in. And then if you push them, they will eject. So you can just push them in and eject. Very, very easy to use. And just like the other version, it has a button that you can press to switch between the games. But if you're playing it on the TV or something, you know, it makes it a bit easy if you have that, you know, distance. You don't want to be getting up to, you know, press a button, because you may as well get up to put the cartridges into the actual device itself, don't you? So with this little handy remote, you could be sitting there on your, you know, your sofa, on your couch. You've got the console plugged in behind the TV or something, and you don't want to get up to switch between games. Well, all you do is you just press the button and it will switch it over for you. So as long as you've got the 4 games connected in now, or if only you're using 2 or 3, you know, you don't have to fill up all the slots. But if you've got the games that you're going to play anyway, like I said, with your Mario Kart, and you've got friends around and, you know, we're going to play this game and go, oh, do you know what? I fancy playing Super Smash Bros. Now. If you've already got that in the slot, well, you go, okay then, boop, and away you go. One thing you do have to take into account, though, obviously, is do not make a mistake. If the game is in the slot, don't accidentally, you know, push down on the button while you're playing the game, because it will swap the carts over. So if you're in a very, very heated match in Super Smash Bros. And you decide to bang down on the table or something, and maybe you accidentally hit the remote, and it will just swap the game over to the next game that's in the queue. So don't do that. But like I said, it's a rather versatile device. It's a little bit pricey, but to be fair, not too pricey, because I remember like when the Nintendo Switch dock came out, like this one, you know what I mean? I mean, this has got stickers on it. It didn't have the stickers before, but they were like charging $70 odd for the thing, $70 odd, 70 odd euros. And it's like, but all this has got is a place to sit the Switch in, an AC adapter port, USB and HDMI out. It didn't have anything else. And on top of it, it would scratch the screen of your Switch. But with this, you haven't got that problem. You haven't got that problem at all, because look, first of all, there's nothing on the front of it to, you know, scratch. It can sit and rest on that support there. You know, the games can go into the back here. So, you know, you can play the games. You've got a little button there that you can press, or you can go with, you know, the remote. You know, and it is a sleek design. It's also got for the HDMI out. It's got your Ethernet as well, you know, much like the OLED, the newer model, obviously it came with an Ethernet connection, so you don't need to have an adapter for like the old Switch model. But this actually has one as well. And, you know, it's just easy to use, simple to use. I mean, obviously, if you're only ever playing one game, or if you're a digital only kind of person, well then it's not going to be the device for you. But if you, like me, you know, like and enjoy playing games physically, having a physical collection, I've got like 200 odd games physically for the Nintendo Switch, along with what I've got digitally as well. But the games that I really, really enjoy, I do have physical copies of as well. So I like to swap in between, you know, in between those games, really. So like Mario Kart, I've got physically. Mario Party, I've got physically. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, I've got physically. So because I enjoy those games, I like to have them physically. And obviously when it comes to, you know, wanting to swap between them games, because let's face it, storage on the Switch is a little on the light side. And unless you have a hefty 1 terabyte card, and you're an active gamer, I mean, obviously, if you've got, you know, fewer games that you play, you don't necessarily buy lots of games anyway, well, then you can do away with, you know, having a smaller size card. But for me, I've got a 400 gigabyte card, and that's still not enough space. But because I could collect games physically as well, games that I did have digitally and I've now bought physically, you know, I can use this device, not a problem. It's just does things. It does what I need it to do. as for like comparing it to the older device, the one that we did previously, now I say older device, we did only like review it for our website about a couple of weeks ago. It's not that long at all, but then they have this newer, more, you know, ergonomic design, very, very sleek and sexy design, if I say so myself, to what they had before. Now this one's a bit more square, it's a bit more blocky, so that would, you know, better suited for like the older dock. Whereas this one, you know, you can use it on its own, or if you only want to use the card reader, like I said, you can just slide that out and then plug in the cable, put that onto your sleek USB there, and, you know, once the switch goes in now, that just disappears behind. You can't see that at all now. I mean, it's there, but you can't see that at all until, you know, you plug that in. Then you'll only have like this little lead here and then whatever you have sticking out the side. But it's a very, very neat device. You know, it works perfectly for what you need it to do. And also, you know, at $57.99, I believe, $57.99 US dollars. Probably be around the same price in euros, a little bit less, I think, probably in the UK, probably if you take out for about $10, so maybe around the £49.99 mark. I'm not too sure. I've only seen it on the US market at the moment, but it will be coming to Europe as well. This was sent to me from their Europe division. So, you know, it's just such a cool little device. You know, it does what it says on the tin. It does exactly what it's set out to do. I believe there is a similar device coming out soon, which actually supports 8 cards. So you'll be able to change between 8 cards. Now, we said about that in our previous product review for the other device, because obviously the other device has 4 for reading and 4 for storage. So there we have for like the cards there. So we've got 4 at the top here for reading, and then we've got 4 for storage underneath. And it's like, okay, well, that's cool, that's great. But one of the only small little nigs that we had with that is that, you know, with storage, I mean, it would be cooler if that was able to, you know, switch between 8 games. And then they got back to me saying they are actually working on that, and that is going to be coming out sometime next year. So that will be a very, very, very good device to look forward to. And hopefully, if they do that, don't read too much into that. I know I said do that. Hopefully, if they follow this kind of design, so then it would simply just slot onto the top of there. That would make this a much more versatile device indeed. And it'd be like, oh, but I've already got, you know, the Switch dock with the 4-card reader. You know, what am I going to do with 8? Now, if they did that so that you can have this with 8 as well, I mean... that's a winner right there. That really is. And, you know, I am really, really pleased with that. I really, really like the design. It's really, really cool in, you know, being able to swap between the 4 cards at the same, you know, just at the press of the button. Absolutely beautiful. So thank you very, very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more of our content, then please be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you'd like to see more of our written content, so like our news, reviews, personal views, giveaways, interviews, and so much more, then please be sure to go over to www.mytendo64.com. You can also like us on Facebook, follow us on X, because obviously it's called X now, and we're also on Tumblr as well. So until next time, keep on gaming.